Prime Television. My name is Fon Quinter, welcoming you to the morning edition of Prime Flash, coming to you from our studios here in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. It began this morning in the west region of Cameroon, where a motorcycle rider has lost his life after hitting a vehicle parked by the roadside in Buda West region of Cameroon this morning. According to reports, the motorcycle rider, identified as Fanning Garis, who was riding on top speed, hit a cargo and died on the spot. His remains have been deposited at the Buda District Hospital mortuary. Prime Minister Dr. Joseph Diangoute has instructed the new president of the National Communication Council to fight against propagation of hate speech and foster peace and national cohesion. The instructions were handed to Mr. Chebonkeng Tuesday at the Prime Minister's auditorium during his solemn installation. Details in the following report with Lasha Kingsley from Yaoundé.
It is a new dawn at the National Communication Council. Joe Chebonkeng Kalibopse's team officially takes up functions. The team was installed this Tuesday by Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph Diangoute. The seasoned journalist was instructed by the Prime Minister to reflect on sensitive issues such as the protection of children and vulnerable social groups, the promotion of peace and social cohesion, and the fight against hate speech.
Mr. President, beyond its purely regulatory mission, the National Communication Council is required to further reflect on sensitive issues such as the promotion of the ideals of peace, democracy, freedom, human rights, as well as the protection of children and vulnerable social groups through the media. In addition, emphasis should be placed on combating hate speech and the respect of professional ethics. Disinformation through social media, wherein and unfortunately the traditional media is falling prey. Whereas its principal duty is supposed to be that of a watchdog against the propagation of fake news and calumny.
The new president of the National Communication Council, on his part, promised to play the role of the pedagogue, counselor, and whip towards the press.
I think we will educate, we will cajole, we will sanction if need be, because this is an honorable profession, that of journalism. If we inform, educate, and entertain, we have to do that with the social responsibility, which is that of the press. And if the press does just what it's supposed to do, I think we will get Cameroonians on the same foot like that of the state. And if we have to educate, we have to do that with all humility, knowing that we have been trained to do that.
With over 30 years of experience in the journalism profession, many say Joe is the right man for the top job, especially at a time the media landscape in Cameroon seems to be polluted with quacks.
Remaining Yaoundé, where 22-year-old lady identified as Sabine Mabel Lizette is recovering in hospital after her leg was amputated. According to sources, Sabine's husband Zingan Jean Pouling injured her right leg for serving his spaghetti to their two children. Reports say the husband had ordered for his spaghetti leftover to be preserved in the fridge before leaving for work. Informed that the leftover had been given to their children, he got the wife well beaten and in the process got her seriously injured in the right leg, which only ended up being amputated when she was rushed to hospital in Fou, Central region of Cameroon. Now, the new executive members for Nigerians residing in Kumba Member Division, Southwest region of Cameroon, have been commissioned into their new post of responsibility with a call for them to champion the cause of Nigerians living in Kumba. The cause of unity and being law-abiding was made by the Nigerian Consul General Ibrahim Bashir during a ceremony at the Nigerian Consulate in Boya, Southwest region of Cameroon. Now, Class 6 pupils drawn from northern regions of Cameroon were registered for the first school living certificate starting for their examinations yesterday. In some centers in Douala, examinations went unhitch-free amid COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Genda Pelton Blanche visited some examination centers in the Littoral region and compiled the following report.
These are faces of soon-to-be college students. Enthusiasm and determination as they take on the first school living certificates. For the second year, candidates are writing examinations in the context of a health crisis. Cameroon is currently battling the second wave of COVID-19 with over 80,000 positive cases. Now more than ever, anti-COVID-19 measures have been emphasized to curb the growing figures. Academic institutions hosting students for the first school living certificate have adopted measures to this effect.
Les enfants sont avec les masques. Oui. Aujourd'hui, ils sont lavés les mains quand ils étaient.
All the students are with their nose mask. They washed their hands before entering the classrooms. We also have available hand sanitizers in front of us. All is well here at Catherine Lane Sub-Center.
According to the chief of center, the 2021 session of the examination is promising. The candidates are positive and await feedback for their next academic journey.
News out of the country, 2 protesters have succumbed to gun wounds after clashing with security forces in Ejoro town in Ghana's Ashanti region. Dozens of youth had gathered where a popular social media activist was buried. Ibrahim Muhammad, 45-year, was killed on Sunday, and his supporters suspect he was targeted because of his criticism of government. Tuesday's clash started when some residents threw stones at the security forces. Now, Ivory Coast former President Laurent Gbagbo has criticized the International Criminal Court for being biased. The 76-year-old, who was acquitted of charges of crimes against humanity in 2019, was speaking after he received a hero's welcome in his home village Mama in the southwest of the country, reiterating that he had not committed any crime. Mr. Gbagbo, who said the ICC is not serious and had to eliminate an inconvenient man, had been captured in April 2011 after he refused to concede defeat in a run of elections, sparking of a brief civil war in which over 3,000 people died in Ivory Coast. And health authorities in Uganda have approved a locally manufactured herbal medication to treat COVID-19 patients and other viral infections. The country's drug regulator, the National Drug Authority, said the product is formulated from herbal plants that have been traditionally used to alleviate symptoms of severe diseases. NDA's decision comes a week after it warned the public against using COVID-Dex, saying it had not been authorized. According to the NDO, the approval was based on initial assessment, published literature and safety studies, and that its innovator had also withdrawn on substantial claims that the product treats and prevents COVID-19. This ends the morning edition of Prime Flash on My Media Prime Television. My name is Fon Quinter. Coming up next is In the House with Eileen Summer. Stay tuned to more programs on the African Eye. Goodbye.